Hi everybody, Bob Wilson, poet, singer, songwriter in San Antonio, Texas. I write stories. There's a fable called The Ant and the Grasshopper. It was done, let me start my machine. I forget. Bob Wilson, poet, singer, songwriter. I'm a storyteller and a writer. There's a fable that was done hundreds of years ago. It is as true today as it was whenever it was done. It affects everybody. From 5 years old to 105 years old. It's called The Ant and the Grasshopper. It's not only for children. And I'm going to tell you the fable, and I'm also going to tell you a story I wrote about Smith and Jones, which kind of puts it in modern times, the fable. Okay, the fable, okay, there was a summer day. Beautiful summer day, and there was an ant, and this ant was moving back and forth on the field, getting food, building its home, getting food for the winter, preparing for the winter. And there was a grasshopper. The grasshopper had a fiddle, and the grasshopper was laughing at him. What are you doing working, man? It's a beautiful summer day. A party, man. I'm not thinking about the future. I'm thinking about tomorrow. I just think about today. I just want to have fun right now. I want to party right now. I'm selfish. I don't care about nobody but myself. I just want to be selfish, like thousands of people I know. I was in the public 50 years. Now the people I know would have been and laughed at the ant. And the ant kept on going and brought his materials and built his home and brought his food, everything ready. And day after day, the grasshopper plays his fiddle and laughs at him. Then came that cold winter, frozen winter. Man, the grasshopper was starving. He had no money, he had no food, had nothing. He knocks on the ant's door, and the ant's in there next to a fireplace with a big meal, drinking hot chocolate. And knocks like, please let me in. Please let me in. I have no food. I'm like thousands of people I know. I have no food. I have nothing. I'm stupid. And the ant yells back, how come you didn't plan for it when you're in the summertime or when you were younger? Well, I didn't think about that. So the grasshopper died. He wouldn't let him in. The grasshopper died right there of hunger and the cold. The moral of the story, you have to be responsible for yourself. Now, here's my story. Some people say, well, that was hundreds of years ago. The writer, he didn't know what he was talking about. Okay, well, Bob Wilson wrote this story now. Smith and Jones. Okay? Smith and Jones are both middle-aged people, men in the United States. Smith been at his job 20 years, works hard, has a home, a little car, pays his bills. Jones parties down all the time. Doesn't have any money. I've been fired 20 or 30 jobs already. He has a big thing about telling bosses off. He loved telling bosses off. And it come that cold winter. Frozen snow, and Mr. Smith there's frozen and cold, and knocks on Mr. Smith's door. Mr. Smith's in there, there's a big screen TV next to the fireplace, eating a nice meal. Is Mr. Smith, Mr. Jones, oh, I'm cold. I don't have any money. I'm broke. I didn't plan nothing. I said, and Smith said, how come you didn't plan your life when you were young? How come you didn't buy a house and get a good job? I don't know. I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, you have choices. Not like the grasshopper. These days you have choices. Well, if you refuse to get a job, you have to live off somebody. Your partner, your relatives, your friends, your family. They get tired of that. And then charity groups come in and feel sorry for you and maybe give you some of the government handouts. You know, but the main thing is you got to be responsible for yourself. The moral of the story for Mr. Grasshopper and Mr. Jones, you got to be responsible for yourself. You know, me, I got my career when I was 29 years old and stayed at it until I retired, but not a lot of people can't do that. I understand that, but you got to be responsible for yourself. You blame other people, you know, sit around blaming the government or your relatives or whoever. Be responsible for yourself. Bob Wilson Studios, peace out. Talent's a terrible thing to waste.